5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time to count down Reality TV's most talked about moments with Amanda Bella. Hey guys, welcome back to Bella Talks TV. It's Amanda Bella here. I'm trying not to yell because I am in my cavernous and unfurnished new living room. And I have been teasing with you guys for a while that I have been working on this new house that we bought last summer. Yeah, we've had construction and contractors, plumbers in and out every single day, and it's been a nightmare. But we are slowly getting, I have, of course, my camera set up here, but I want to just try to at least tease a little bit of the house. Like you can see, here's the living room. Love it, love it. Fireplace. I'm literally sitting here next to an old stove. The kitchen is behind you this way. Let me see if I can turn it all the way around. Over there in that dark area, tomorrow there will be cabinets that are being delivered. And so, yeah, for all of my house hunter people that are into the extreme renovation shows, this would have been the project for you. So yeah, anyways, it just is so great to be able to sit and have a quiet place to record, even though it's not the most perfect space yet. And I am working on getting my podcasting room all set up. That's going to be coming in the coming weeks. And it's going to be kind of my little media room. And I got the coolest mirror, you guys. I can't wait to link the items that I found. I feel like Heather Gay on the most recent season of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, because remember she redid her office and it was everything from Wayfair sponsored. Even though this is not sponsored by Wayfair, we're still getting all of our furniture basically from there. Not all of it. I'd get some pieces from other more high-end places. Luckily for our wedding, I got a ton of Crate and Barrel money and gift cards and returns and stuff for there. So Crate and Barrel, CB2, Wayfair, and we're going to go to Ashley. You guys, we're balling on a budget here. We spent all of the money on the house, so we cannot be spending tons of money on the furniture. Because also one thing that's important is when you redo one room, that's a different story. But we have to furnish an entire brand new house. So, we're making smart choices, but I can't wait to show you guys, we're getting so close to things being done and where I'm going to really have this new space that I feel is going to energize me into this new platform. I'm so proud of myself, even with all of this chaos of traveling, home renovations, and just daily life. I've been able to have 3 amazing episodes that I put out recently with guests that if you're not already following and you haven't already listened to these episodes, please go back. They're all 10 out of 10. So the first guest that I had on was Nikki and Bree from the Not Mad About It podcast. So follow them at Not Mad About It pod. I'm going to link everybody's information in the show notes. And then I had Dana, the Bravo investigator, on. And, we love Dana. She's one of our Canadian queens. And Dana and I align on so many of our opinions. And the same with the third guest that I had on, Yana Firestone. So Yana and I too, we did a deep dive on the Southern Charm reunion, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that today. I'm back, you guys, to do a true Bella Talks TV. I'm what show is this again? It's been so many weeks because I've been really focusing on having guests and not just putting solo pods out. Flexing that muscle. You guys have heard me talk about it. If it's your first time here, then you'll know that I do 2 different kinds of shows on here. One, I do a weekly countdown of Reality TV's most talked about moments. And then I also do an episode with a ghost, or with a guest. It's kind of a bonus episode. So a guest bonus episode. Sometimes it's Bravo. Sometimes it's not. Oh, I also had Rhea on from Coffee Meets Vodka. Those are 4. Not Mad About It pod is Nikki and Bree. So technically those are 5 amazing guests that I've hosted on Bella Talks TV in the last month and a half. I'm really proud of myself. So if you guys have not listened to those episodes, go rate, review. I'm recording a little late. It's 8:42 on Monday, March 30th right now. And this was just the best time for me to record. I was going to wait to do this tomorrow during the day, but we're actually having our kitchen cabinets installed and we have some like exciting construction going on here tomorrow. And I kind of want to be here to like see what's going on. And I just cannot wait. I put so much time and effort into this. Like I went really trendy with all of the stuff that we did. I mean, you can fast forward in the timestamps if you don't want to hear about this, but we have a local contractor that we used. He basically told us, okay, like he like knows the vendors. So we went with a local Long Island cabinet vendor and I will tag them afterwards after I find out, like after it gets installed and I have like a review of it. But they are installing the cabinets. I did kind of like a custom order job because I wanted to do a mix of white upper shaker cabinets and then I did a mocha colored brown that I did the island in, and then I did some of the lower cabinets in, and then I'm doing a separate coffee bar area that is going to have glass mocha colored shelving. It has the mocha colored under cabinets, but I have a refrigerator drawer that pulls out that I wanted to keep my creamers and some of my other like fun coffee things because I'm like a huge coffee person. So that's some fun stuff that I've done. I got to go to one of those really cool marble yards where I got to pick out the stone from my countertops and my backsplash. Incredible. And we also are currently working on our primary bedroom and primary bathroom. So we decided to do a mixture of two different kinds of Velocus marble. So I did like full on real marble walls and floors in our bathroom. And then I did a Carrera marble chevron pattern accent wall by where our tub is going. Incredible. Okay, so we're putting a lot of thought into this house and it's going to be, I mean, I think like architectural digest worthy because I'm like Angel from Real Houses of Potomac and I'm delusional. And I think that like my house is the most amazing thing in the whole world, even though it's only 3 bedrooms, like how her house was. Remember, she couldn't even have anybody stay at her house because it was, I don't want to say it was too small. Like I think it's like large square footage wise. But I also think like something that's popular, and even my hairstylist was just telling me he just did this too. I mean, he is gay and married, but they decided to take a 3-bedroom house and turn it into just a 1-bedroom that just has a huge office and like a huge extra bonus room. So technically those rooms aren't really bedrooms. But anyways, so yeah, all I have on my brain right now is home renovations. Also, if you're watching me on YouTube and you see my hair, speaking of my hairstylist, I just got my hair colored and it looks fucking phenomenal. Like he did a glaze 3 different times on it. Like I wanted to go Hailey Bieber meets Sophia Richie. Like this is it. It looks incredible. So I'm really happy with that. I'm just happy. The house is good. The hair is good. Oh, also just look at how cute my nails are right now. Like I saw the inspo for this on Pinterest. So I'm just feeling good. I'm feeling myself and I cannot wait to get into this episode with you guys because I have quite the list for you. Again, if this is your first time here, this is my weekly countdown of reality TV's most talked about moments. So I'm going to do a top 5 countdown. I also do OMG LOL moments of the week. So let's get right into that. Let's start with my LOL moment of the week. We'll just start right off this episode with some laughs, some lols. And my LOL moment of the week is the fact that if you guys don't know, if you don't follow me at Bella Talks TV, like what are you doing? But if you do follow me and you see in my stories and you see the things I post about, I recently spoke on my last Bella Talks TV episode too, that page 6 is one of my favorite publications. And I love to follow Page 6 online. I love Page 6 Radio. I love Danny and Evan, who are from Page 6 Virtual Reality. They also do live shows, and I've done to a few. And I'm also going to their upcoming live show here in New York City. And that is on April 29th. And that's going to be some members of Southern Hospitality. And I'm trying to remember who else is on there. Maybe some ladies in London. Actually, let me look so I actually know what I'm talking about. Because I'm actually, I wasn't like that excited for this lineup, but now I kind of am because I love these guys so much, and they've been getting so messy lately. So I have to go support them. Like, their shows are so fun and funny. Okay, they just posted about this, but I'm going to see who else is there. I know it was Southern Hospitality people, Levi and Bailey from Summer House. So I think it's interesting that Bailey's going to be there. Bailey keeps getting floated around that she's dating Carl. I ship them. I think they would be so cute. She thinks that he's such like a nice guy, and she keeps saying that she really is wanting that in a relationship. So I'm happy for that. Then TJ and Brad, who I did meet at BravoCon, and Mia is also going to be there. And then Dolores is going to be there. So it's not like the best lineup I've ever seen. I was hoping maybe a couple Mormon wives would show up. I'm happy to see Dolores. So, but yeah, getting more into my LOL moment of the week, it's because Danny and Evan are so freaking funny. And they're the hosts again of the Page Six reality. It's on Radio Andy, and it's the Page Six virtual reality serious show. And they do these live shows, they do stuff on the social media, they do interviews. Like, I just like love what they're doing. And I've met them at the Bravo Miami Fan Fest, and they're just incredible. They're so funny. I love them. So they recently got in trouble because they were talking about Haley Glassman, who's that new Real Housewife of New York who was trolling Claudia Oshry, the girl with no job, and that whole mess. Page Six had to issue an apology because they were talking so much crap about the Real Housewives of New York City and like that entire flop of a show and the casting and the problems they've had. They were just being very, very critical of that. And everybody has been. It's like nothing new. But then now this is strike two with Andy. And Andy publicly responded on his show. And he was like, hey guys, like over at Page Six, he said, do you not notice that you're working on Radio Andy? Like, have some respect, put some respect on my name. Because Andy had Sarah Michelle Gellar on Watch What Happens Live. And she came on, she wasn't like super fake or anything, but she wasn't talking shit to Andy's face about all of his shows that he's a producer on, including Beverly Hills, that we know he's very sensitive about. And Kyle Richards, for whatever reason, him and Kyle are just very close. So when Andy has his favorites, like, they're going to be untouchable. And also, he loves Kathy and Kim, like the Richards sisters, all three of them, they're like family to Andy. So the fact that Sarah Michelle Gellar goes on Page Six Radio and starts talking shit about Beverly Hills after she was on Watch What Happens Live, and they're all like having a key about how bad and boring the season is. Andy was pissed, and he was like mad that the guys are on Radio Andy talking crap about Housewives. And he's also like, isn't this like the second time that Andy's had to like step in and get an apology from them about something? Like, they are kind of going to be on thin ice. They need to watch it. But I'm also living for the drama and loving that they're just being unapologetically honest and giving real feedback, being real fans. Like, Andy does need to hear this stuff, and I'm sure he does. They're not the only people saying that Housewives is boring this year, Beverly Hills specifically, but just the whole drama of Andy chiming in, him being defensive of the women, and just how he feels so strongly. Now, they did just film the Beverly Hills reunion, and we know for a fact that Erica, Kyle, and Dorit do not make up. Because now I just heard a little rumor, and I would never believe this, I don't think, but I'm starting to like not trust my own judgment because of how many rumors I thought I would never believe that became true. So I'm starting to kind of believe everything's possible. The fact that Andy, I think he's like not expecting Dorit to go anywhere for a while. And I think that's why she feels so like empowered to just keep being like, people would say she's being nasty. I think she's just being like very a played up, animated, pissed off version of herself. I do think she's fed up with Kyle. But the point I'm trying to get to is that Kyle's kind of trying to like allude and tease that she is going to be done with Housewives, because I think the problem is that we know conflict and resolution is so important for the reunions. And if Kyle is refusing to make up with Dorit, admit any fault, take any accountability, Dorit's not going to bend and break on that either. Like, she's just had enough. Something's going to have to give, and someone is going to have to go. Like, Kyle versus LVP. LVP quit. Like, I really wonder how that would have ended. Somebody would have had to apologize. I think it would have been Kyle. I don't think LVP would have went to Kyle ever and admitted. Wow. Just bringing that up really takes me back. Like, so in this most recent episode too, they're trying to bring up the whole, like, Dorit basically says Bose has been more supportive to her than Kyle and Erica combined. which I do agree. Because it doesn't matter how long you've known somebody, like you can have a friend that is your biggest hater that you've known for 20 years, and you can meet a friend and like 3 months later, just be genuinely hanging out with them every single day, talking to them every single day, being best friends with them, as Sally would say, best friends. So I do think that Dorit and Bose are best friends of a sort. And I think Rachel coming in and Rachel not taking any of the bait and not taking Kyle's side, I think really was like salt on the wound for Kyle. Anyways, she's like teasing that she's not coming back. I just don't think I could ever believe that, but I guess it is possible. I mean, what is she coming on for? If she doesn't want to be friends with these ladies, and it was so obvious, but she was just spotted again with Morgan. I knew she bought the house in Nashville, but I thought like that was like in a lover's attempt to like, maybe she moved there for love and maybe it was just an investment property at this point and sitting empty because if she's not with Morgan, why bother? But now she just got a job working on, I believe it's like Nashville 911. Kyle Richards is an actor. So she got a job in Nashville working. She has a house there. And now just 3 days ago, this girl went viral on TikTok because she saw Morgan and Kyle getting lunch. So it's like at this point, are they together? Are they not? And I'm just so sick of caring. And I just don't think I will care anymore if she's not on our TVs. So good riddance. That was my LOL moment of the week, you guys, was Andy snapping back about Sarah Michelle Gellar, talking shit about Beverly Hills being boring. I don't think it's boring. I'm loving it. I posted a really funny video. I've been trying to just think about my content and like get a little more creative and have like a little bit more than just posting memes and just posting news clips. So I thought it was so funny, that trend that's like, I think I'm gonna die in this house. I did that music over the trend of Kathy Hilton. Okay, so she was bumbling around in the after show for, I think I counted like 75 seconds of her taking for her to get to her seat, put her bag down, put her lip gloss on, all while Jennifer Tilly's going on some like crazy monologue. It's quite the scene that kind of had me like aghast a little bit. Like, Kathy is the behavior or is the definition of erratic behavior. I think it's funny that I could go on about Kyle forever. I'm so obsessed with this entire season of Beverly Hills. I think it's so good and like it's so layered and unspoken, the things that are going on. Like when Natalie is lying and that's when Kyle goes, what doesn't lie, the cameras. And then the next morning she's talking to Erica and Kathy's sitting there across the table. And Kathy's not having Kyle's back in the moment. She's kind of having Natalie's back a little bit. And she's like, oh, being called a liar, that's a little harsh. Kyle's like, well, she's a liar. And and are you not going to have my back? Are you going to take her back that you've known for 3 minutes? Or are you going to take your sister's back? Like just those reactions like that is scary to me. That's psychotic. So yeah, I'm just not, I could go on forever about it. I really, really despise Kyle, but like, do I love to hate and watch her? Hate watch her. Hate to watch her and watch to hate her. All of the above. So yeah, that was my LOL moment of the week. Let's move right on to my OMG moment of the week because I was starting to get like a little bit into that territory and I was excited. So my OMG moment of the week is the fact that Austin called Sally a bar rat in the season finale, basically the reunion part 2 of Southern Charm. And I don't know what's more shocking is that Austin so blatantly and obviously and publicly humiliated Sally by saying that. Also by saying that she's like not marriage material, she's not acting like a wife. And he set what he's not realizing is that like I don't want to say a very good portion of Bravo fans are like single women. So they're not going to want to hear that. Okay. Even though I do agree Sally's not exactly acting in the behavior that I personally do think attracts the right person, it attracts somebody. And that's why everybody's like, oh yeah, like the right person will love you or like people should just accept you. Like, yeah, some people are going to accept you, but then they're going to like match your behavior and they're going to match your energy and you're going to end up with like this, like, look at Austin and Sally. Like they're two sides of the same coin. It's too chaotic. They're going to always be out and they're never going to settle down. So I don't know. Somebody needs to be willing to like kind of be the voice of reason in the relationship. And if it's two devils on the shoulder, then that's not going to work. And that was just like the vibe I'm getting from them. So the fact that Austin was just so publicly being like, it's not going to happen. You're not, this is not whatever. I'm not basically even feeling this type of vibe from you, kind of like Craig did to her. Craig did the same thing to her. Basically friend zoned her and was like, yeah, I'm like not feeling the vibe, but he is hooking up with her, which is the difference. And so imagine the guy that you publicly are adoring, begging to date you and potentially marry you and become the father of your children. And you're publicly expressing this want and need to this guy, and he's just rejecting you, but you're still having his back, and you're still sitting there being like, I know he's going to be a great dad. Like, you can't make anybody do anything. So she's going to just figure out in her own time. But that's definitely what I'm expecting to see from from Southern Charm season 12 is that whole storyline. Now, I talked a lot on my last episode too, my episode with Yana, is that Charlie is dating Justin from Southern Hospitality. And I just think that is so weird. I think that he's been on 4 different TV shows about dating. Perfect Match, Surviving Paradise, all of these weird shows. He dated Maren Morris. I don't know why Charlie would want to date him. And I gave also the fact that Charlie's mom was very vocal and she was kind of like a little side character. And she played really the role of like a classic Southern mom, telling Charlie, like, be interesting, smile a lot when you're going out to parties, like, be somebody that a man's going to want to be married to. Like, basically the same advice that Sally is kind of being like Charlie's mom is saying what Austin was saying. Like, when you're going out, like, give off the energy that you're in that type of, if you're getting wasted and puking and partying, I don't think that that is giving off to anybody that you're going to meet that you're like looking to be in a serious situation. It just is what it is, you guys. I don't know what you want me to say. That's not like misogynistic. Same with a guy. Like when you see a guy that's acting like that, you get the same vibe. So if that is what you're looking for, you kind of have to like match that energy. Yes, you're going to find somebody who's still going to love you and accept you for the nights that you do want to go out and do those things, but you should be home. Like that is how it goes. We just had this whole conversation with so many other Bravo Lebs. So I don't know why all of a sudden now it's okay for Sally, but whatever. I just thought it was so crazy. He just called her a bar rat. That was crazy, right? And then she was like, if you're a rat, I'm a rat. Like, you remember from The Notebook when she's like, if I'm a bird, you're a bird. That is so embarrassing for them, but let them do their thing. I mean, Austin's out there acting like he's 31 years old. Like, he thinks he's Jessi Sullivan. He's going to be 40 soon. But whatever. Those are my LOL and OMG moments of the week. I want to roll right into my top 5 countdown because I want to get right into it tonight. My number 5 most talked about moment of the week is just the show that is taking, I think, the world by storm. I mean, to me, it does feel that way because it just feels so uplifting and exciting to hear people being positive and enjoying something because there's just so much hate and trolling online. So the fact that Ladies of London has just became the new reign. Now, let me be specific. I was somebody who watched the original Ladies of London and I enjoyed it a lot. Caroline Stanbury, I've been knowing her since day one. You guys, Sophie Stanbury, which was her sister, was also on the show. There was also a girl named Annabelle who passed away, who has a very interesting story, possibly connected to the Epstein files. I mean, there's just a lot of that. Now, what has that in common with the new season and the new reign, they call it, of Ladies of London, is that there's another person on this cast that's also in the Epstein files. And she actually dated Jeffrey Epstein, which is so crazy. There's a Swedish model named Missy, and she's on the show. She actually talks about her brother also being unalived in a very mysterious, they call it like a mob related death, I think they said. Drug related, mob related gun death. So there's just like a lot of lore going on already on Ladies of London. Now, Missy is just the tip of the iceberg. My 2 favorite ladies in London are Martha and Kimmy. Kimmy is an expat from America that is an alcoholic that just hangs out with Mark Francis, who is, I think it's great to have a diabolical gay on this show. I was just going to make a post about a few of the diabolical gays that we have on TV right now, because TJ is definitely one of them from Southern Hospitality. And then, of TJ, we obviously have Andy. We have, I would say Michael's too is like a little bit diabolical over on Southern Hospitality. And we have Mark Francis. Like, I feel like I had like a good list of like some like people that were really making waves on Bravo. So I'm really excited that we have some good representation in the Ladies of London. But Martha and Kimmy specifically. So Martha she kind of looks like she was just frozen in time from like the days of TV tray Salisbury steak dinners and like drive up movie theaters. Like she just looks like that, like pinup girl kind of cocktail dresses down to the ankles, like just Baroque patterns. I don't know how to describe, like a lot of fascinators with like veils and just and then she has a bird that lives with her. Like these people are so European and I love it. I really was like craving something different like this. Now, just like in the original Ladies of London, it's a mix of people from America that have moved there and lived there for a while. There's also this girl, Margot, who I find insufferable. She's like an actress from LA that lives in London that is just I don't know how to describe her personality. It's just not for me, but I do enjoy watching her. She's just kind of annoying and thirsty. She's giving thirsty. And then there's also this girl, Mika, who is also an expat, married to now somebody from London who's like a successful financier. She also has a company where she has puppets and she does like kind of YouTube shows about manners. So she's really into like etiquette and manners and stuff. So she's a character that I really enjoy. Now she has like a best friend that she went to Florida State with, which is just funny, but they live in London now. And her name is Dara, and she's an architect. And Mika comes on being Dara's best friend, and they're like a duo. And she's talking about how they've been friends for over 25 years. They went to college together. They moved from Florida to London, etc. Cameras go up, and Mika's like approaching Dara on camera, and Dara's literally acting like she's never seen this girl before in her life. She's being approached to have conversations, one-on-ones. She's like, no, hon, like, I think I'm going to have to post a clip of this. So make sure you're following me. I'm going to go post this immediately. I know I have it saved on my phone already and I forgot. It's something I've never seen on reality TV before. And it really breaks the fourth wall. And Mika goes up to Dara, again, her best friend of 25 years. She's been hearing word on the street through the cast. And I think through just like the casting process and shooting like the sizzle reel for this show, she found out that like Dara's talking shit about her behind her back. So Mika's getting this information. She's like, okay, I'm going to pull her aside. This is like Dara's birthday, the first night of filming, the first party they're all together, the first group event. Mika goes to pull Dara aside. She like bends over and like whispers in her ear. And she's like, hey, can I just like pull you aside for a second to talk to you? Dara just goes, no. And Mika's like, no. And Dara's like, no. And she's like, no. And Mika's just like with her knife and her fork still in her hand, like cutting, like no. And just getting shut down like that. I've never seen it being like that. Just, it really made Mika look like some kind of crazed fan that asked Dara for like a autograph to a celebrity that was like eating dinner and they were like eating and they were just like no photos. Like that's how it felt. This was like her best friend. Anyways, it's just a very strange and awkward scene that made me feel alive again because I love reality TV so much. So please go watch Ladies of London. I'm glad it's doing so well. I didn't really talk too much about Emma, but she's an icon. Also, I'm really enjoying watching her. And yeah, Kimmy and Martha, those are the two to watch. If you know, you know. Go watch. Oh my gosh. Okay, I famously do not do ads for this show. I do not really even barely edit things out. So you're going to get like a live kind of stream here. But I do talk about things that I like really enjoy. And one of them is Waterloo. And this is a seltzer that's made in Texas. So, you know, whatever, for whatever that's worth. It's like it's like a natural product made here. And not that I really care about that, you guys. I'm not trying to sound like racist. I'm just trying to say it's just I do like to support local businesses. It's my favorite, like the most elite flavor ever, the lemon lime. So good. Okay. I really don't understand because I really thought I had my sound off. My mom's texting. All right, let's get into number 4 most talked about moment of the week. It's kind of a new one. So this might shock you guys if you haven't heard about this yet. But if you haven't heard yet, you're going to find out soon because in the next couple of days, you're going to get the premiere episode of The Valley season 3 that's coming out. And I believe a huge storyline that's going to be, it's already getting teased and I'm already seeing rumblings online of these rumors, but that Kristen and Luke we saw in the trailer are having some problems post baby, Postpartum, Kristen's not happy that Luke is trying to meet his basic needs, and Kristen's feeling not attracted because she's in postpartum mode. She's probably not feeling her best. I don't know if she's breastfeeding. I don't know if she had a natural birth and things are just not feeling good down there. Like, for whatever the reason, it does not matter. But this is a problem, and this is something that I've kind of stood with for a long time. This is a little bit where sometimes I have like some old school thoughts, but I do think if you're going to have a baby with somebody, like, you really need to know them and know that you want to be with them. And I just feel like Kristen met Luke. This is just me speculating on, like, with my tinfoil hat on about the Valley. I believe Kristen desperately wanted to get back onto Bravo because there's something about being on it once. Like, if you lose it, you get fired, you get paused, your show gets canceled, etc. You're like always searching to get back on and be included and get a show again. So I think her downfall from getting fired from Vanderpump Rules, then she's off living her life thinking that she's canceled from the world. She meets Luke kind of like not during COVID, but I think it was like 2021 that she met him. So like a year after the pandemic, she meets this guy that like lives in Colorado off the grid at someone's wedding. And she, I think, women's brains, whatever. Not that I'm saying she didn't love him. I think that she liked him, wanted to date him, wanted to be with him. This guy was willing to move for her from Colorado to California. He's younger than her. She wants to be on a show that is about dating, marriage, and babies. I think that she just was like desperate to make the life be what it needed to be to fit into the friend group that she's in, and to also get back onto the Valley and be having it being filmed and not just being like Jared, who's like, okay, he's friends with Janet and everybody, but he's not on the Valley because he's not married and he doesn't have kids. Like, there's people like even Ariana. I don't think that she would ever come onto the Valley, but like, it wouldn't make sense. Schwartz is somebody that it doesn't really make sense. Now we found out that he does have a girlfriend this season. I don't know if we find out that with during filming, but either way, what I'm trying to say is that would Kristen and Luke really be together if she didn't feel the need to need to have a baby? It's kind of like the Lindsay Hubbard effect. Lindsay just so desperately needed to get that next chapter of her life sealed. I think that there was also a possibility that with Amanda and Kyle getting married, Lindsay was thinking her and Carl were going to get married. I think that they were going to get their version of I think that In the City was a concept for a while of what's going to happen to Summer House afterwards. Like, I think Kyle's very smart, and he was like, okay, he basically created the concept of Summer House and made that entire thing happen. So I think he's already thinking like, what's my next show going to be after this? And he's been trying to get it ready. I mean, In the City did end up getting greenlit. It worked. So I don't think it was Amanda's idea. Yeah, that's like life after Bravo. People are thinking about it, these shows. We have the Valley now. We have In the City. We have these, what's going to happen to Southern Charm? I've thought about this. I've made this joke before, like they should call it the Banks, because it's like the Valley, the City, the Banks, the Charm, the South. Madison, Shep keeps talking about how he bought a new house. He wants to have a baby and get married. Like, Craig's been trying to get someone pregnant for years. Like, that's happening. And so that is just the natural progression of life and what these people are trying to have in this next chapter. I think Kristen really rushed into stuff with Luke. I don't think that he was a good fit for her. I think that he was too young. He was kind of too weird. I don't find him attractive. It was just a no for me, dog. So I'm disappointed that they even ended up together. Now they have this beautiful baby, Kaya Lily. And I'm happy that she was brought into the world, just like Gemma. These are Bravo babies, but it's just like, these guys are duds. So they're better off to just be single. Kristen can be single just like Lindsay. She got the baby. She's on the show. She doesn't need the boy anymore. So he can go back to California or wherever, Colorado. He can go back to Colorado now. Okay, yeah. So anyways, those rumors are crazy. I don't know if they're together or if they're getting divorced, if he's cheating. Oh no, that was what I heard specifically was that Luke is cheating. I think there's a chance that maybe they would plant that. I heard a rumor that there was a comment made by another Valley person, I think maybe Jasmine, that said that Kristen's trying to have her Ariana moment. I don't know if that means she's trying to, I think that's similar what Sheena did with Brock when she was like, Brock cheated on me or whatever when I was pregnant, and like came out later and tried to have this like big moment to sell her book. Just comes off very disingenuous. Like, why now? You're on a show. It's the premiere. What's going on here? And Luke could just easily like disappear. Now I realize that is still going to always be the father of your child. I'm not saying that was like, that's just some boyfriend that was used for a storyline like TJ was. So I don't know. We'll have to see with season 3 of The Valley coming out. I'm not looking forward to it, you guys, because I really dislike Brittany. And I know that she's going to be like center, whatever, Margarita, center shot. My favorite thing in the world, if you guys don't listen to Ryan Bailey's, when he does his Brittany Cartwright, he's like, shots. Brittany loves a shot, you guys. That girl loves a shot. Okay, this is my last thing about this. Did you see that the custody and the divorce filings are being finalized for Brittany and Jax, and they both have to alcohol test? No shots for Britt. All right, let's move on to my number 3 most talked about moment of the week. We have a couple of mom talk updates. Now, if you didn't go back and listen to my last episode, me and Rhea from Coffee Meets Vodka broke down all of the information that came out from the day that Taylor Frankie Paul went to the Oscars to the day it was canceled. And through that, some of the backlash, the headlines that came out, Jessi and Jordan filing for divorce. So let's start there, because Call Her Daddy came out with Alex Cooper this week. She was the one that got the exclusive interview with Jessi regarding her and Jordan filing for divorce. And we found out that Jordan only filed because he found out that Jessi was going to, so he beat her to it. Beat her to the tweet. If you know the Real Houses of Miami. Oh my gosh, I forgot to put that on my list, you guys. That should have been my OMG moment of the week, is that Miami got paused. But because it's not canceled, and I do believe it's not canceled, I'm going to reserve my disgust for that choice from Bravo. I also heard there was another rumor that Andy had to choose between Miami, not Andy, but Bravo had to choose between Miami and the New York reboot, and they chose the fucking reboot, which makes me want to take into my head. So these are the choices we have to live with, you guys. This is just Bravo's world and we live in it. So Jessi and Jordan, they file. Jessi goes and call her daddy. She says that Jordan's been using her money to have orgies. Now, this makes me think, if you guys did not watch the show, this is very important. Go back and watch it. There's a show that came out on Peacock last year. It was only 8 episodes. It was unfortunately canceled, but it was like a really good one season wonder called Sold on SLC, about a real estate group that is in Provo, Utah, where the Salt Lake City, and actually Lisa Barlow did a cameo on the show. So you'll see her in like episode 3, but it's also where the Mormon wives live. And Leanne, Taylor Frankie Paul's mom, is also on the show and works at this place. It's called Presidio Real Estate. It's in Provo. So they do a show, and it was one of the most bananas, batshit crazy shows I've ever seen in my life. The way that these people, first of all, their behavior, and then the way that they're all just exposed everything. There's a girl named Malaysia who's a star, who we need to get her on Salt Lake City Housewives. I need to make a phone call after this to Bravo. We need to get her on Salt Lake City Housewives. She's a star. So in the premiere episode, she reveals that her friend is a stripper. Okay. Now, it's giving to me that she potentially used to also work in the club, and that maybe they met there back in the day. And then this girl ended up marrying a Malaysia, I'm talking about still. Malaysia ended up marrying an NFL player. Now they have kids and they're happily married, but it sounds like they used to party. This girl that also comes in and spills the tea, the stripper, has 4 sisters. Guess what? They're all strippers too. Yeah, you can't make this shit up, you guys. This is on Bravo. So all of these strippers' sisters work together. They say there's a regular that's been coming in for a very long time that actually got obsessed with one of the sisters, and they had to get a restraining order, or something was filed at the club where this man could not come within a certain amount of feet of the sister or come to the club when the sister was working. Some kind of boundary was put into place because this guy was like obsessed with the stripper sister. Well, that guy is married and he has kids and he works at the real estate firm, and everybody finds out the tea and they all are spilling it, and the wife doesn't know, this guy's wife, and they have kids. She finds out about the strippers. It's a really good, really good season. And just the way that they all, I mean, they have to like go on a retreat to like, I mean, these are like people's real lives. This guy's like fucking wife finds out. It's really brutal, but it's all real shit that happened. And it's really giving me Jessi and Jordan, because Jordan was also having brothels, orgies, strippers, etc. with Jessi's money, with Jay-Z Styles' money, which makes me so mad. So that's the latest update with them. It's really not looking good. They're definitely getting divorced. And luckily, Jessi was worried that her prenup didn't go through with Jordan because like some of the papers weren't signed correctly. But luckily, it's valid. Like I think that there's certain mistakes that they can tell that are like errors, user errors. And it looks like it was filed in a way that Jessi is protected from Jordan's little troll hands. So we're happy to hear that. Another update coming out of Mom Talk is that Dakota was recently in communication with an influencer. And this was back in the fall when the F1 was going on. I don't know if you guys remember this. I do. When like randomly a bunch of the people from Hulu were all at the F1. I think that, they were probably all flown out there as being part of these events or whatever. And Dakota and Brooks Nader and whatever, etc. Dakota was in communications, I think flirting, communicating, sending pictures. And I think it's unclear if they actually met up and did mess around or not, but they were definitely in some kind of like situationship together. Again, this is during the time that he's with Taylor during all of this. Anyways, this influencer that Dakota was flying out and I don't know, being in this relationship with ended up being trans. And when Dakota found out, he flipped out, ghosted communication with this influencer named Lilah Gibney. So yeah, if you're seeing those headlines, that's what that's about. I don't know why that's like super relevant, but I kind of like that Lilah is airing out Dakota for just being a POS. And I'm just going to reserve what other thoughts I have about that. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much all the other updates that have kind of came out. Nothing really about Macy. Nothing really about, Whitney's still killing it. Nothing really about Lilah. Oh no, oh my God, how did I forget? I'm like sitting here looking right at my notes. Jessi and Chase made out. Now, do I think that's for the show? Potentially. Jessi has, done some questionable things. She made out with Marciano. She seems like she's just in a post-divorce thing this was like a couple days after she filed for divorce. Chase is obviously very thirsty to stay in the show, stay filming, be in the circle. I, for whatever reason, like do not really care for Miranda that much. And like, although I feel bad for her just baseline woman to woman, I just, for some reason, don't really care about her. So I kind of like Jessi and him maybe having a moment. But I do think it's sad that they have kids and stuff. And like, I know there's feelings there. There's always going to be feelings if you have kids and are married to somebody. Even though they were all so young when they got married. Like, I think they're freakishly young. Child brides. Imagine getting married when you're 21 and getting divorced at 24. Mom talk problems. So I think that's pretty much it that was going on there. All right, let's move on to my number 2 most talked about moment of the week. This is a big one for me, even though I kind of feel like it makes perfect sense. We have the official announcement from Bravo TV that the Real Housewives of New Jersey are coming back. And I actually saw a couple different rumors, but the very first one is that we have the confirmation that it is going to be Teresa, Melissa, and Dolores. What other 3 would come back? I'm personally heartbroken about the Marge. I'm going to miss her, but I think it's better to go out as a hero than die a villain. Danielle Staub, I would love to see her back in the mix. I miss her messy ass. Same with Kim D. I saw things circulating of the 5 new girls. They just look very Jersey. I don't know. They don't mean anything to me yet, but I'm sure that they will. This reminds me to tell you guys that The Real Housewives of Rhode Island is premiering also Thursday, April 2nd. And it's very important that you watch and get into this show because it's going to be around for a while. I was just talking about this with Nikki and Bree on my episode with them. Go check that one out. That we go through the whole cast, you guys, by the way. We talk about everybody and just how the show became to be. But Bravo's not going to be starting like a new Housewives franchise if they think it's going to be a 1-season wonder. So I think these women are going to have like several seasons under their belts. These are storylines that we're going to have developing for a few years, and I can't wait to watch. So Jersey is back. Dolores is back. She's going to be on both shows. And I'm very excited to just get back to some East Coast Housewives. We need this. We need some strong personalities after the West Coast being so boring. So boring. All right. And my number 1, I've been dying to get to this moment. The reason why I picked up the mic, the reason why I had to come here and make sure I got this episode out ASAP, and the reason why I kind of waited till later in the night tonight to record, because I wanted to make sure I saw any like new developments. We've got to talk about the rumors, you guys, that West and Amanda are potentially hooking up and are potentially going to be announcing publicly that they are in a relationship, that they have either hooked up and that they are not in a relationship, which that's my guess. And I guess C is potentially what? No, those can be the only 2 things that they're going to announce. But yeah, I mean, what do you even say? What do you even say about this? So let me gather my thoughts. West. Let me start with West. So for me, the biggest thing that's confusing about this is that West spent so much time. He knows what it's like. He said his family was getting death threats when him and Sierra didn't work. So he already knows what it's like to have a huge Bravo scandal where the fans hate you and they want you to literally die. So why would he ever do something again that would be stupid enough to put him back in this position? Unclear. Is he just an idiot? That's possible. Not going to put that past him. Now, he's obviously friends with Kyle. Does he not give a fuck about Kyle? Does he not like Kyle? Has Amanda is it just like, okay, he's with Amanda, so he's naturally just not going to care or like Kyle? I just don't understand why Wes would also betray Kyle like that. Sierra in the beginning thought I personally, again, it is what it is. I feel like I don't, my initial reaction is that she would not miss this chance to like be a victim. And I'm sorry, but her and West are not they're not married. They're not together. And yes, we see that in this past summer, which again, it's March right now, you guys, it's about to be April. So last August, we see Sierra and Wes flirting. We don't even see them kissing. They're not dating. So we just see them flirting. So because Sierra and Wes flirted, and we know that they previously, the years before, 2 years before that, hooked up and dated briefly. Okay, we know the rest of the lore, but we're talking about in the last year, they've at most flirted. It's not been confirmed that they've hooked up, but there are rumors that they were hooking up again. Okay, so let's run on the assumption that, you know, Sierra and Wes weren't together ever. Does she get to really, you know, call dibs? Yeah, I kind of think that's girl code. I do. But I think in the Bravo world, there's a lot of like weird stuff that goes on. And I think that like under the circumstances of the network and just all of the dating and the drama and things that happen, I just think this is like kind of what happened. So it's weird. It wouldn't happen in the real world so much, but in this world, it kind of makes sense. I do still feel bad for Sierra though. Not so much because of Wes, because we know that Wes is a fuckboy and he already proved that to her once. So shame on you, fool me once. Shame on me, fool me twice. Or fool, you know the saying. She got fooled twice, so it's her fault. No, it's not her fault, but I'm just saying, like, you feel less bad for somebody. It's like you got to take a little bit of accountability, like shame on me because I trusted you again. So yeah, I don't think Wes was like blowing smoke up her ass either. I think they were just like genuinely enjoying each other and having fun and being friendly and flirty. And like maybe they did make out again, but whatever. I think what Amanda did to Sierra is way worse than what West did to Sierra. And that's the point I'm making. I don't know where we go from here, you guys. So I didn't believe these rumors at all. I didn't believe them at all. I was like, you guys, like, I get so mad too. I get so mad at the fans. I start calling the Bravo fans out. I'm like, you idiots. But I didn't believe it at all. And then this is what did it for me. All of the rumors are coming out. All of these people are saying things. People are going back and digging. They're finding comments. They're finding old interview clips. They're looking at the way that they responded to each other on Watch What Happens Live, right? All of these things are coming out. But it was the video that comes out that Amanda's wiping West's mouth. There was just something about that video, you guys. It's a feeling. It's the feeling you get when you know you got cheated on. It's like that intuitive feeling, you just are getting fucked with. You're like, oh my God. You feel it in the pit of your stomach. You're like, yep, confirmed. That for me was the moment. I'm like, shit, this is like really happening. I did not believe it. And that was just yesterday. So like I had like a good 4 days of denial in me. I did not think it was going on. But then I saw that. Then I saw the other one of how they're wearing the same sweatshirt. Then I saw the one picture or the video of the friend who was they always do like the snack influencing. Really, whatever. I'm not trying to like knock influencing, but it is thirsty. You cannot deny that being an influencer, you're literally thirsting for attention. You need the clicks and you need people to give a fuck about what you're doing. Anyways, they all like to like eat things and do their little mukbangs. This girl's like eating, and in the background, you see West and Amanda like in the kitchen. There was also a big snowstorm that happened that they were spending time together. There were all these sightings they were having all over NYC. I mean, the evidence has just compiled in a way that it's undeniable now. We have fleeing the tri-state area. He's on a plane to the West Coast. Amanda's missing. Sierra was last seen with Lindsay and Austin. So that means Austin is in NYC for whatever reason. And he's hanging out with Lindsay, and Sierra and Kyle was with them. They all posted. Carl also posted something. KJ also posted something. All very cryptic messages. Austin specifically said like pasta and fucking your friends' exes is so bad. So yeah, they're all like basically saying it without saying it. So like these are the things that I'm like, okay, I can't deny it. The only thing that's making me be a little bit delusional is that it is so close to April Fool's Day. Is this a huge plot to fuck with the Bravo fans? Like, are they just like so done with us that they are like gonna do this to us? I'm holding space for that. I think that's actually like West seems like a huge prankster that would come up with this. But I don't know, some of these breadcrumbs go back quite a while, and it's starting to get, like I said, undeniable. The Lindsay posting with Sierra, I need to know what's going to happen with Paige, because she's, again, in the middle of Amanda and Sierra. I think she's closer with Sierra, but like, are they all just going to turn on Amanda? And is Amanda going to be the next Rachel Raquel that's just going to be out like doing sound baths in the middle of Arizona because this is going to ruin her life and she's not going to be able to like show her face around the city or on Bravo anymore? I'm scared for her. I don't think it's like that big of a deal because people don't care so much about them as they did with Ariana and Tom and the backstabbing of it all. Like, technically, these people are all single. They're all single. Amanda separated, Sierra, West, they're all, And one thing that I think is so funny is that it is an NYC lore snark, what they call it, like snark fluence. No, what is it called when they're, snark. When it's like gossip, whatever, influencer snark. That's what it's called. Is it just influencer snark that everybody knows that like West just like loves doing butt stuff? So like, is he just fucking Amanda in the ass? Like, it's not worth it, Amanda. Oh, okay. It's all I can think about when I look at them. Anyways, I have to let you guys go now, but I had to get on here and talk about Amanda in the West. I can't believe I'm saying that. I think the rumors are true now. If I would have done this episode 2 days ago, I would have been standing 10 toes down. And that just shows you how much new information can change our minds. So it's really important to believe the facts when you start to, I was like, fake news. I felt like I was in the cult. Like, I felt like no matter what evidence was presented to me, I was never going to believe it, but I'm starting to believe it. So waiting for confirmation, and we will see if tomorrow it happens on March 31st or if this all ends up being a big joke on April Fool's Day. All right. I love you all. Please go check out my most recent episodes, my latest episodes with Yana, with Nikki and Bree, with Rhea, and with Dana, and stay posted for other people that I have coming soon. As soon as my new podcasting room is coming, it's coming very, very soon, and on my new vlogging stuff, and it's going to be exciting. So, okay, follow, rate, review. Ciao, Bellas. Love you.